Hey all, Tony Bing here. Hello and welcome to my Patriotic Soldier endgame build for Captain America for Marvel Heroes, and Mega for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. So with this build for Cap, we're really playing up the leadership abilities that he has, as well as his awesome deflect skills due to his shield. Now, to showcase the build, I will talk about the skills and talents. We'll have a look at the synergies. We'll check out the infinity point allocation. This is where you would place the first 100 points. We'll look at the general gearing priority for the build, and then we finish up with some gameplay to show off how he is in action as well. Now, if you want to jump to any section, as always, check out the description and there will be timestamps there. Otherwise, we'll start off by looking at the skills. For the skills here, we have a nice selection that gives us both a nice bit of damage, some mobility, and also an awesome heal as well. Now, the main filler we're using is Shield Strike, and this gains bonus damage from deflect rating, and that's something we will itemise for to an extent to push the damage up on this. The first cooldown skill we have is Airborne Assault, so that provides you with some mobility, and it also gives you vulnerability for 8 seconds on a low 6-second cooldown. Now, after jumping up and slamming down, we follow up with Torque Shield Throw, and this is buffed through the talents we've got if we've used Airborne Assault just prior to it, which we will have. So this will stun the enemy for 2 seconds, and again it's got a 6-second cooldown. Now, I like to follow this up with Patriotic Taunt, so it will weaken the enemy. It's got a low 6-second cooldown, and through talents we've actually got a 20% per second heal on it for 3 seconds, so you're looking at a 50% uptime on a heal that's 20%, and it actually applies to allies as well, which is pretty incredible. Now, the next skill is Shield Bash, and this again gains a damage bonus from deflect rating, so it can do a nice amount. We then finish off with Meteor Kick, and we finish off with this because it's an execute, so the enemy's health should be low from all of our skills, and then we slam and hit them with the Meteor Kick and the execute, so that works great. For the signature, we have Star Spangled Strike, so this is a nice hard hitting attack, works as an actual steroid. It'll give you a buff to damage rating and deflect rating, so we have the two skills that benefit from deflect rating, so you're double dipping on the damage for them, which can really make a big difference. And the very important factor of this skill is the fact it restores 50% of your max spirit, and that's why we actually want to get our spirit pool up a bit higher, so that 50% is all we would use by the time the cooldown in this comes off, so we won't have any spirit issues at all. But for the next section, we'll have a look at the talents. For the first talent, we have Defensive Strike, so this increases the deflect rating modifier on Shield Strike, and when you use a cooldown power you gain a flat 5% deflect chance, and that's for 4 seconds, so that will be up almost all the time because we'll constantly be firing off our cooldown powers. We then have Impenetrable, so with this, Indestructible Shield gains the following effects: 100% deflect chance, and it automatically activates if you fall below 30% health, so that's saving us a space on our bar where we can place another skill. We then have Coordinated Strikes, so Torque Shield Throw deals 50% more damage if used within 4 seconds, and it's various skills, but the skill we'll be using before it is Airborne Assault. So jump up, slam down an enemy, provide the vulnerability, and then follow up with the buffed Torque Shield Throw. It works great. Now, next talent, Stabilize Serum. Serum is removed, cooldown power damage is increased by 10%, and you get a cooldown reduction of 25% on all your skills, so it helps keep our rotation flowing nice and fast. We then have Vigilance, and this is incredible. It applies guarded to all allies while you're in combat, so that on its own is great, but when you use Patriotic Taunt, you apply rapid healing to yourself and nearby allies, and as mentioned, 20% of max health per second regenerated, 3 second duration, and Patriotic Taunt has got a low 6-second cooldown, so that's 50% uptime on a 20% heal for your whole team. Really is incredible, I can't stress that enough. But next up, we'll have a look at the synergies. For the synergies, we start off looking at the primary attributes. It's fighting and strength, so that is covered by Ant-Man as well as Elektra and War Machine. The more generic ones are Blade, Hawkeye, Hulk, She-Hulk and Squirrel Girl, and then finally the ones that work great are Captain America for the extra deflect rating, because that does buff 2 of our skills, including our main filler, and also you have Nightcrawler for the 4% melee damage there, because all our skills have the melee power tag. Now, next up, let's have a look at the infinity point allocation, and this is where we would place the first 100 points. For the infinity points then, we're using the Mind Gem and Deep Thought for an additional 250 spirit. The reason for that is because we're using a filler that actually spends spirit, we can run out. Now with our signature restoring the 50% of your max spirit, that's why you want a higher spirit pool, because it means it will restore more, and you want to get to the point where you can sustain your spirit until your signature's back up again, so that's what you want to aim for. Once you're at that point, then start to put your infinity points into health, so it'll increase that awesome 20% heal on your entire health pool there. Now for the next section we will have a look at the general gearing priority for the build. As always then, with this general gearing section, what I'll do is just give a rough outline of how you want to actually gear the character and what direction you want to go in, because that means in future you can apply the tips given here to help you actually choose if you want to move about your gear if new items do come out. Now Captain America's tags are a bit all over the place with melee, hand to hand and movement, and it's hard to itemise his damage, so for that reason I go for the M-Cran. It's got the flat damage rating and also the flat crit hit rating to all skills, but what also works great on him is the 3000 health. Again, that ties into the 20% heal we've got, but also the 200 spirit really helps with the fact that he regenerates 50% of his spirit on his signature, so does seem a great choice there, M-Cran Crystal. For the medallion you could go for the more obvious choice of the Dr. Octopus, which gives you bonus to melee powers, but I quite like Manape and also Rhino, so they will knock down enemies if you use a leap power or a movement power, and we have quite a few of them in our kit. For the catalyst to help your spirit issues, what you can go for is you can go for one that's got the spirit on medkit or the spirit on hit. That can help out, but if you do get your spirit pool high enough, your signature should be enough to sustain the build. Catalyst, you could go of course for the melee option, the Relic of Asgard, but I really like with this build is really playing up the whole deflect rating from his shield, and it does buff 2 of our skills, so I'm actually using the Relic of Atlantis for that reason. It gives you 2000 deflect rating. Artifacts, which is something we don't normally cover, but these two are great. The reason they're great is they give you the strength attribute, and strength actually increases your deflect rating multiplier, so even with pretty terrible gear on Captain America, I've got in the region of 11,000 deflect rating on him, which is fantastic, and again it's buffing those skills. So you've got Cap's America Silver Star, it's giving you strength, health, deflect rating, and then you've also got the Sacred White Gorilla Necklace, so when you critically hit you gain 5 strength, it gives you defense, and it also gives you a bonus critical hit rating to melee powers as well, so it really is nice on him. But with the gear covered, what we'll do, run through some gameplay. We've got a run through of the Times Square operation. I figured this would be a good one to do because the Ultron bots and Ultron can actually hit pretty hard, so I can show off how tanky he is. I will also mention, as always, that as you can see I don't have him geared, so this gameplay is really to show off the actual rotation, but to show off a bit of his tankiness at all, so I won't be doing it in Cosmic for that reason, just to make you aware of that. But as always, I hope this video and guide has been useful. If there's any questions, feel free to ask, and I'll see you all again soon.
Time to requisition a new one. I can't do that.
Your fate is sealed.
Experiencing power shutdown. Unsatisfactory performance. Ultron is unstoppable. Data point collected. Relay.
Your fate is sealed. fate is sealed.
Rebooted again? Time to shut you down for good.
Your fate is sealed.
Do you wish to continue?
We all must fall, eventually.
Humanity always triumphs in the